Hello everybody, welcome to another video, possibly your first video. But today I'm going to give you a pre-analysis on this Pokemon League me and my friends are doing. This Pokemon League is in the pool style, meaning each player will do a best of 3 with the other. And the top 2 with the most wins will do a grand final, which is a best of 5. But before we go and do that analysis, would you be so kind and like and subscribe? It's free and you know the comment spiel every YouTuber does by now. But we're gonna start with my team. I drafted Mega Beedrill, Rotom, Amoonguss, Conkeldurr, Alakazam, Galvantula, and Umbreon. But you may be wondering, wait, that's 8 Pokemon, can't you only have 6 in a battle? While you're correct in that statement, we're giving the ability to have 8 Pokemon so you can have multiple teams to cover different people. Like I could run Umbreon against Caleb, but instead of running Umbreon against Xeno, I could run Galvantula. But for the draft, I luckily had to pick the last Pokemon for Megas, so I got stuck with the bad ones, you'd think. But actually, I got left with a pretty good one, letting me counterpick everyone, which was Mega Beedrill. Mega Beedrill actually destroys most of the other Megas, except really only one of them. But I figured I could cover that Mega with my next mon, Rotom Wash. Rotom is a tanky monster with access to Levitate, Toxic, Volt Switch, and a great typing, being only weak to grass. My next OU pick was Among Us. Sorry, I mean Amoonguss. Amoonguss is a great mon, giving me access to another tank, but this one has access to Spore. Spore is a great move, making the opposing mon sleep, but with 100% accuracy, unlike moves like Hypnosis or Dark Void. But the only flaw is, if the mon is grass type, it won't work. Sleep is really good because it makes the opposing mon practically useless for a couple turns, letting you get free hits, setups, or even a free switch. Now for my first of the 3 UU picks, I opted for Mimikyu. Mimikyu is a great sweeper because of his ability to Disguise. Disguise is basically like the move Substitute, but you start with it, letting you get a free setup whether you want that to be Substitute or like a Swords Dance or something like that. Though Mimikyu's stats are otherwise mediocre, he pairs greatly with some of my support mons that I have. My next UU pick was Conkeldurr, which I'll be honest was kinda just for type covering. He's a tanky monster with an insane attack stat, but gives me good access to moves like Earthquake, Stone Edge, Ice Punch, which lets me beat out a lot of the mons I was worried about that the others have. The same thing applies to my next pick, Alakazam, which I'll be honest was probably my worst pick. He has some good use, nothing that really stands out though, but this is pre-battle recording, so maybe he'll surprise me. Now finally we have the last 2 RU picks, Galvantula and Umbreon. Umbreon was just a matchup dependent tank I picked up, but Galvantula is probably my greatest support Pokemon other than Amoonguss. Galvantula is a quick sticky web setup user that can greatly change the tides of battle. For example, he sets up a sticky web and probably dies after getting a little damaged because of his sash. But I get a free switch to Mimikyu to start Swords Dancing or Substitute and then Swords Dance, or Amoonguss to start my sleep setup, and then you know what happens from there. With myself out of the way, we now move to Adam, who picked Mega Charizard X, Tyranitar, Volcarona, Tentacruel, Salamence, Venusaur, Jolteon, and Salazzle. Now you may have noticed a flaw already. Adam has 3 Fire-type Pokemon, 3 Pokemon weak to Water, 4 Pokemon weak to Rock, and 5 Pokemon weak to Ground. Though those are glaring weaknesses, he does make up for it with some of his picks like Tentacruel and Venusaur. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and start from the beginning. Mega Charizard X is an all-round good Pokemon. Decent bulk, decent speed, good typing, good attack stat, making him a real force to be reckoned with. His next pick, Tyranitar, seems to be a really good pick, being a pseudo-legendary with a great tanky stat and being able to set up stealth rocks and everything. Which is true, but he has the ability called Sandstream, which set up Sandstorm, which hurts all of his mons more than helps. His next pick was Volcarona, who is a special sweeper, but because of Tyranitar, gets kind of hurt because it's not able to utilize Sash to its fullest ability. Instead of Volcarona, I would have personally picked Excadrill because it works with Sandstorm, making it extra fast, not get hurt, and being able to do Choice Band with double speed and not have any flaws. But Volcarona is still able to Quiver Dance and set up everything that it wants to, and then sweep. so it's still probably a good pick. With his next pick though, Adam went from bronze to gold. He picked Tentacruel, who is a very tanky mon that has access to toxic and other great things. But the real reason he's so good is because he covers most of Adam's weaknesses, being super effective to ground and rock. But he's also resistant to water types, making him just the best pick Adam could have. Adam then picked Salamence, who really is kind of useless in my mind since he's just a worse Mega Charizard at this point. But Salamance's strengths with Intimidate, Dragon Dance, and that great type advantage should make it a force to be reckoned with if he decides to use it. Adam then had two great pickups, Jolteon and Venusaur. As I stated before, they cover Adam's weaknesses, but do you know who doesn't cover Adam's weaknesses? His last pick, Salazzle. Salazzle is by far his worst pick, and probably the worst pick this whole tournament. By no means is Salazzle a bad mon, but Adam already has two special sweepers, two fire types, and two poison types. This mon is legit useless for his team, but maybe Karma will bite me and it will be worth something. Now we have Caleb, which has a very powerful team, but not really a setup or support team. He straight up went for all power. Like Gardevoir's a sweeper, Garchomp's a sweeper, Urshifu's a sweeper, Thunderstarian is a sweeper, Aegislash is a sweeper, Krookodile is a sweeper, Chandelure is a sweeper, Necrozma is probably his tankiest, but I really don't see him using it. But as I already said, Caleb has Mega Gardevoir, who is a pretty strong Mega, so it'll be interesting how he uses it. Then his next three mons, Garchomp, Urshifu, and Thundurus, which are all either Choice Band or Life Orb mons, so it'll be interesting how he uses them. I don't see it being that great, since there are just three sweepers, but let's see what he can pull. Aegislash is a very good Pokemon, it's just he already has sweepers, so the King Shield Swords Dance setup team isn't really gonna be good here. Also, with the Gen 7 to Gen 8 nerf, it really isn't the greatest mon anymore. But it can be very good with King Shield and Swords Dance and whatever else he uses to set up, so it should be a valuable member to his team. Now he has Krookodile, which is a good Intimidate mon, but if he's going with what I think he's doing, he's probably gonna run Moxie and try and sweep. Which is dumb, but let's see if it's any use or not. But again, he has another sweeper, Chandelure. This time it's special attack though, but since he has already made Gardevoir, it's not really worth anything. But it does have good coverage with Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, and all those good moves. If he wanted to use it in a different sense, he could get like Haze, Curse, Clear Smog, maybe even like Memento or Trick. But with how his team is set up, I don't think he is. Now last but definitely not least, we have Necrozma, which if he used it, would probably be the saving grace of his team, since it is tanky and it can set up stuff like Morning Sun, I think Stealth Rocks, has like Dragon Dance setups, Light Screen, Protect, has Toxic, Trick Room, Thunder Wave, Swords Dance, Substitute. This mon's really good if you use it correctly. It is quite slow, and he doesn't really have any members of his team that can help support it since they're all sweepers. So I hope he can use Necrozma well, but I don't even think we'll even see it. Now we have Chocobo, which I think is an honestly scary team. It's just he has to use it correctly. But he has Mega Gyarados, Zapdos, Swampert, Lucario, Lycanroc, Gengar, Zygarde 10%, and Goodra. But let's start at the beginning. Mega Gyarados is a really scary Pokemon that can start out with Gyarados with an Intimidate, and then Mega Evolve into a mold-breaking, disgusting monster. Just the problem with this team with Zapdos, Rain, and he probably could have picked up Pelipper. I think he should have opted for Mega Swampert for the Swift Swim team. But still, nonetheless, that's a pretty good choice. Now we have a pretty good support Pokemon for his Swampert and Mega Gyarados, Zapdos, that can send up Rain Dance and just throw out Thunders. Very powerful Pokemon, very scary with Volt Switch and other moves. Now we have Swampert, who, as I stated, is a very good Swift Swim Pokemon that can sweep. It should be Mega, but it's fine. It can still be like Choice Band or Life Orb or something and still be very, very strong. Now we have Lycanroc and Lucario. These two Pokemon in my brain serve the same purpose, just Lucario is just a generally better Pokemon in this scenario. But both are good physical attackers, somewhat tanky, pretty darn fast, and have priority moves like Bullet Punch and Accelerock. So they're not bad members, definitely scary in certain scenarios. And now another similar Pokemon, just special instead of physical, we have Gengar, who's a very fast, very strong special sweeper. He can run many moves like My Alakazam and just be very terrifying. I don't think it has Levitate anymore, which I think is a nerf, but he's still a very good mon. Then we have a interesting mon, Zygarde 10%, which I honestly don't know much about. I never see it used, but it should be pretty good and pretty scary since it has moves that are dragon and ground. And with that dragon Pokemon out of the way, we go with Goodra, who is a very tanky mon, but again, I don't know much about it. It could be really good, but I'm not sure. I think it can run Toxic and other moves like that, but I don't know how good it'll be for his team. Last but definitely not least, we have Xenomouse. I'm just gonna call him Xeno. But he is a very powerful team with Mega Sableye, Slowbro, Rillaboom, Porygon 2, Moltres, Regieleki, Mudsdale, and Registeel. But again, let's start from the beginning. Mega Sableye is probably one of the best support Mega Pokemon there is with Magic Bounce. I think it has Stealth Rocks, Fake Out, and just a lot of things going for it. It can set up things like Toxic and just be really tanky and very difficult to deal with, especially if you don't have a Fairy Pokemon or move. Next we have Slowbro, which serves a very similar purpose to Mega Sableye, just a different typing. In a different form of setups, it's probably setting up more of a stat line, like from Curse and then Slack Off and stuff like that. But now we have Monkey, or Rillaboom, who is a very, very, very good Pokemon, and I'm very terrified of it. I really don't like dealing with Rillaboom with its special grass move that it has with priority because it sets up grassy terrain with its ability. I'm very nervous for this Pokemon, but with my team, I should be able to handle it well. But this isn't about my team, it's just about the general Pokemon. Rillaboom is a very scary Pokemon, very fast. Well, actually, it's not that fast, it just has the priority, really strong grass move. But with that move, it is very good and easily the best starter in Gen 8. Now we have Porygon 2, which is a very tanky mon with good coverage and a great ability download. It's a very good mon, and combined with Eviolite, this thing never dies. Which, just again, this team is really scary. It will last a long time, and probably longer than you will. Now we have Moltres, who I think is honestly the worst pick of the team, which I think is really saying something with how strong it is. But Moltres is a good fire-flying Pokemon, which provides some pretty good coverage for the team, nothing crazy. But it has strong moves like Hurricane, Fire Blast, but you probably wouldn't run those anyways. You'd probably run Air Slash and Flamethrower instead. So it's an average Pokemon, but nothing crazy. And now we have the thing I am most terrified of. I thought Regieleki was OU, so no one was going to be able to pick it, since we already picked our OUs, but then I learned it was UU, according to Xeno, and he was right based on Pokemon Showdown, so I just kind of had to deal with it. But Regieleki is a really terrifying Pokemon. It is really quick, good special attack, and combined with Choice Specs will just Volt Switch your team and it'll one-hit any Pokemon that doesn't have good special defense. And I honestly think this Pokemon will carry his team based on just his other support mons. But yeah, Regieleki will... I'm just already calling it now, before the tournament thing happens, because this is pre-recorded. I'm calling Regieleki will be the MVP for the whole thing. Well, if he wins, of course. I don't really know if he will. I think I or Adam could pull it out over him. Chocobo definitely could with his team. It's a very scary one. But I do foresee Xeno winning the whole thing. Me second, Chocobo third, Adam 4th, and sadly Caleb last. He just did not pick the greatest team. It's not awful, but it's below average. It's just all sweepers. But that is it for the pre-analysis. I hope you enjoyed all of my knowledge, and I hope you look forward to the tournament matches. This should come around at the time the tournament has ended, but knowing me, it's probably gonna be a month later or something like that. Yeah, like and subscribe, and turn on notifications for more. The tournament matches, I'm hoping, are gonna come out within a month of this video coming out, but I'll be honest, I don't know, because I do have some special editing planned for it, and editing takes me a long time because I get bored easily, and then I just play video games for like 4 hours. But goodbye!